Hi everybody, it's June here and I'm jiggling around trying to get comfortable so I can make this video. I'm going to take my shoes off. Sorry, oh, that was noisy. Just taking off my shoes here. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's a bit better. No. Okay, hello. How are you? This is sort of a vloggy video and also just wanted to talk about something that I'd had a couple of requests to discuss. First of all, new hair. As you can see, I had my hair cut yesterday and the reason why I will reveal in a minute, the reason why I got my hair cut, but I really like it. This is the way I used to always have my hair when I was younger. I think as you get older, you know, it's no harm to bring the length up a little bit, and I think it's quite nice. I'd be more inclined to wear my hair down a lot of the time now, actually, and I got it coloured as well. So it's, what's the colour, is blackcurrant, I think is what they call it. So anyway, the main reason I'm making this video today is because I've had a few requests from people to talk about weight loss and how I lost weight and what I did and what I didn't do. So I'm going to just, I suppose, just give you a very quick idea of how I managed to lose so much weight. I was, oh, I'm sorry, oh, my feet are going numb. In March of this year, I would have been a size 20. Now, in American terms, that would be about a size 16. I was not happy about that. I just basically I had fallen out of the habit of taking any exercise, and I was, you know, eating too much just out of habit, and I was doing all the wrong things and I knew it. And what really, I think, got to me was not being able to wear what I wanted to wear, just, you know, having to wear what would fit. And that was really beginning to get on my nerves. So I decided, okay, I'd have to do something. But I put it off for a very long time because I was basically afraid that I wouldn't be able to lose the weight. When I was younger, I could lose weight really quickly. It never ever bothered me. But I'm 41 now, and I just thought, you know what, it could just be a disaster. And I didn't fancy feeling like a failure, you know. So, or more of a failure. So I started off small. I gave up bread, and I thought, right, well, that, you know, most of my carbohydrate during the day probably comes from bread. So I cut that out completely, and then I reduced back on things like rice, more or less stopped eating pasta, and more or less stopped eating potatoes. And I noticed immediately the weight was starting to come off. That got me going. Then I started exercising in earnest, and I mean really exercising. I went from basically being, you know, couch-bound person to being someone who did an hour of very intense exercise every single day. And what I did was I got an Xbox for my birthday, and I bought this game, which is Zumba Fitness Rush. And this is the main reason why I am now a size 10 to 12, which would be a size 6 to 8 in US terms. An hour of this every day at the high intensity, and my God, you will know you've been spoken to. It is such intense exercise, but it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's so enjoyable. It's not repetitive. You don't feel like you're working hard, you know. You might do initially, but the music is just so infectious and the moves are so easy. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So what I do now is I do an hour of this twice or 3 times a week, just to keep my fitness up, and because I love it. If I feel like I'm in a bad mood or I just need to pick myself up, I stick this on and I do some Zumba, and it just gives me endorphin overload. It's amazing. If you like music and dancing and having fun, well, you are going to love this. So this burns off so much fat. It's incredible. So that was great. So all the while I was, eating really sensibly, eating every 2 to 3 hours, small meals. Most of my carbs in the morning time, with a sort of a whole grain cereal of some sort, oat brown porridge, or, granola or something like that, with hazelnut or almond milk, and maybe a piece of fruit. Lunchtime then I might have a salad, a chicken salad, with no dressing, no croutons, and trying to eliminate as much carbohydrate as possible. So sticking to vegetables and meat, and then moving on then in the evening time then having a little bit of whatever everyone else was having, but eliminating potatoes, as much as possible. And by doing that, I feel my diet really pulled together into something that was pretty healthy. I eat a lot of nuts, I eat a lot of yogurt, I eat a lot of fruit, I eat a lot of vegetables, and I eat a lot of chicken. I cannot eat seafood because I react to seafood very badly, so I can't eat that. I take an omega-3 supplement and various B vitamin supplements as well. So overall I have a pretty healthy diet. If I feel like something nice, if somebody's got a cake there or there's something, that I fancy, I will have a tiny bit. And that satisfies me. I've tasted it and I'm happy. I try and avoid eating late at night if I can. But if I'm hungry, I might just have something very small, like a piece of fruit or something. I drink lots of water, and I make sure that at the moment, I keep my calorie intake to in or around 1,500 calories a day. And I'm still very gradually losing weight down to my target. Now I've kind of hit my first target, but I've now kind of wanting to move slightly on and lose a few more pounds, and then I'll be happy. So I'm losing it at a rate of about £1 a week now at the moment, which is kind of good. It's gradual. And so that's basically what I did with diet, eliminated a lot of carbohydrate, a lot of fat, and just any junk food or crap food is just gone out of the equation. What I then did as I moved on, I'd lost quite a bit of weight, and I noticed that parts of my body were very, very saggy, under my arms, around my abdomen, around my bottom and thighs and that, where there was I'd been deflated like a balloon, and so I needed to tone my muscles. But I am not a gym person. I cannot tolerate the gym. I can't just tolerate that situation. I can't stand it. So I looked around and tried a few different things. I tried Pilates, and that was too much like hard work for me. It's too regimented and it's too complicated. I can't be doing with it. So I found Calinetics. I discovered Calinetics, which is an exercise program that was kind of devised in the 1980s, and the original videos are hilarious. They're all from the 80s, and they are just so funny because there are just lots of leg warmers and mullets, which can be slightly distracting from the actual movements that you're doing. So I found this one, which is a more modern version, which is called the Calinetics Evolution, and I got this DVD and it is wonderful. The exercises are very gentle. There's no jumping around. It's not really a weight loss program, but you can definitely drop dress sizes with this program because of the toning and tightening effect on your muscles. It will literally pull in your abdomen. It lifts your buttocks. It really works very well. It's lovely and full of lovely stretches. It's all about minding your back, so there's no injury involved if you do it properly. It's just wonderful. And also I have this Cardio Calinetics, which I do a few times a week. It's got half an hour of really nice kind of sort of ballet inspired kind of aerobic work, and the half an hour of toning, where this one here is all toning and stretching, and it lasts about an hour. So between these two, I mainly do these now, and then I do my Zumba 2 or 3 times a week. So with all of that, I've managed to tone up my muscles. I've managed to lose a ton of weight, and I've managed to energize myself, feel much better, cope with stress better. It's just wonderful. But there are some downsides to it. The first one I would say is that it is expensive to lose weight. You've got to eat healthy, and healthy food, unfortunately, is not always cheap. Fresh fruit and vegetables are ridiculously expensive. I suppose we're not too bad here in Ireland because, you know, we do grow a lot of stuff here and we have access to it. And it's maybe not as expensive as it might be in other places. But it still can be dear, you know. So that's the first thing. Secondly, you have to replace your whole wardrobe. And that's been great fun. And I'm not complaining. It's been wonderful. Because now I can wear what I want, not what just fits me. You're more likely to find, you know, things on sale that will fit you and that. So, you know, but it's something that you have to think about. The other thing that I noticed, and this actually is something I'd never thought about, but it did happen to me. Sorry, I'm jiggling around so much, guys. Is hair loss. I have lost a huge amount of hair since I started losing weight. And I'm still losing hair. Every time I wash my hair, clumps of hair will come out. Now, I know I don't have a thyroid problem. I am taking enough vitamins to sink a ship. There is no other cause for my hair loss other than the weight loss, and it's well known, well documented. So please be aware of that. If you lose a lot of weight, don't get freaked out. If you do start to lose hair, it will eventually grow back after about 6 months, once your body has reached a kind of a steady weight. The other thing is that, you know, when you're thinking about losing weight, you have to think about the emotional aspects of it. You are going to change fundamentally. You're going to change in terms of the way you obviously look, how disciplined you're going to have to be. People around you may not actually find that it's tremendous fun, you know, because you're not going to say, oh yeah, let's have that takeaway, or yeah, I'll split that bottle of wine with you, or whatever. You're going to be saying no a lot. And people around you might get concerned and also might just think that, you're not as much fun as you used to be. But you do have to prioritise. If you're thinking about your health and well-being, I think ultimately people who care about you really should be thinking about that as well. So don't be put off by those things if that happens to you. The other thing is that if you are what I like to call an emotional eater, if you eat when you're stressed, if you eat when you're sad, if you eat if you're frustrated or disappointed, you might find dieting much more difficult. And you need to be prepared for that. Now, thankfully, I'm not actually an emotional eater. I was just eating out of habit, purely out of habit. But I would never go to the cupboards when I'm stressed or upset. It's just not something I do. But if you do, you need to, make sure you have an emergency supply of low-calorie foods that you can reach for whenever you feel stressed or upset. Because every time you do, and if you eat the wrong things, you're going to feel even more guilty, and it's just going to make things very bad for you. And also I would say, look, find a method of exercise or find a type of exercise that you enjoy, because if you like it, you're going to do it. There is no point in putting yourself through misery exercising in a way that doesn't appeal to you every day, because you can never ever going to keep that up. And when you make these changes, they have to be changes that you can live with until the day you die. That's the kicker, at the end, is you do all this hard work and then you realise, I've got to do this forever now. Maybe not as intensively, but there's no going back, So that's my story, and those are my thoughts on weight loss and some of the things that you mightn't think about. Just be prepared, think about it for a long time, plan what you're going to do, research, you know, different diets. Make sure you don't embark on a diet that is crazy or that you can't keep up. There are lots of diets around that you can look up online, some of which are more sensible than others, and some of which, you know you're not going to be able to stick with for more than a week. You know, so I would skip those. Make sure that what you're doing is going to fit with your lifestyle, and remember that it's forever, it's for keeps, and if you can do that, then you'll be okay. So that's all, guys. I hope this wasn't too boring, just that I was asked to do it, so that's why I did it. And take care of yourselves. I will talk to you all again soon. It's probably nearly, will it be the end of the month soon? Yes, it will. So there's that, and I also have a tiny haul which I may try and get around to later today, and if not, then I will do it possibly Monday or Tuesday. So take care, everyone, be good, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.